From the ashes of the old world, in the shadows of the last great war, the world was shattered by magic. Plains became deserts, mountains crumbled into the sea. Witches and heretics are burned in the street, lined with oathbreakers hung by their necks. Where once was law, order, empire, now only hardship and savagery remain. To the east, in Highport, a weary king rules an ungrateful people. To the west, his brother keeps swords sheathed and words of rebellion at bay. To the north and south, savage elves and cowardly dwarves openly practice arcane arts, shrouded by leaf and stone. In a time when a man's worth is measured by his word, when might makes right, and a quick death is a mercy, only those more foolish than brave venture far from home. The age of peace and prosperity has ended. In its place, only strife.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Age of Strife. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. There were absolutely no production problems, just in case.
None. If you're a YouTube viewer, you missed nothing. There are no problems with this stream ever. It's always perfect.
And the funny thing is, I was planning to say we're almost on time for once, and then we weren't. So, I mean...
Well, that's good. It got us a chance to wake up for another 12 minutes because we switched clocks forward today, and it's a brutal, uncaring, unforgiving morning.
Yeah.
It's an ugly world. So, what are you guys up to? How's your last week been?
Mine's been okay. I've been watching tons of basketball mostly because the Big 12 tournament happened this week, and WVU is playing, and they made it all the way to the final and then got killed.
Ooh, is this March Madness?
No, that starts this week.
Okay.
Which I'm really excited about because today's Selection Sunday, so they're gonna reveal the brackets and all that today.
Oh, you don't even know the brackets until the week before?
Yeah.
Do the basketball teams know what the brackets are going to be?
Nope.
Ooh.
Nobody has any idea. Well, so, I mean, you're like educated guesses, but generally, no one has any idea.
So you don't really get to know what games you're going to see, and you won't be able to plan your travel around any of that stuff. You're kind of like, oh my god, there's a game near me, or oh my god, there's no games near me.
Yeah, so sometimes people like buy tickets to certain games because they think that's where their team's going to be, and then it isn't.
Oh, ooh.
So yeah.
Is it single elimination?
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
68 teams.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah, 68. And WV is going to be in that too, so I'm fairly excited, though I'm sure we'll blow a game pretty early.
That's a real team player there. I'm super excited, but we're probably just going to lose.
I've been a fan of this team my whole life, so I know when heartbreak's coming. Ooh. And I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Tyler?
Oh, let's see here. I reconnected with an old friend this week, or maybe that was this week. Just playing League of Legends. She sent me a message, apparently, and then we just played some games. So that was cool.
Nice.
And then I helped another friend build a computer for the first time, and that took like 6 hours. So
yeah.
Done that. I can't even replace parts in computers without something going horribly wrong.
Yep. No, I helped him buy all the parts. He gave me a budget. He was like, "Here, I have this much money. Buy me computer, and we'll build it." I'm like, "All right, okay." So now he has a good computer, and an actual operating system.
Wow, that's good. At least you guys can game together or something, or code together.
Yep.
So let's go over what happened last session, because I have absolutely no idea.
There was some fun stuff that happened last session, actually. I don't remember how it all started. We went back into the swamp.
Mhm.
And I can't remember what we were going to do there.
You were looking.
I think we were looking for
For
the
the
monster.
horn of blasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for the Hydra lair.
Right.
And on the way there, we met a frogman who was Luther's buddy, self-proclaimed. And we traded some stuff. He gave Luther a bunch of snakes. And I also got another poison plant. So it was a pretty productive trip. Though Luther had to give away his arming sword and light crossbow.
Oh, yeah. But you did successfully find the Hydra's lair, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I gave my crossbow to the frogman, and he led us to it in exchange. So we found the Hydra lair. There was some sneaking that happened, and we went inside. Eventually, found the Horn of Blasting and some other loot, and we went outside. Luther tried using the Horn of Blasting, and it sounded like a broken trumpet. And then we rode back. One of our soldiers, Annis, got injured, knocked out in a fight with goblins, and we just decided to ignore her and just keep riding around and go to the mountains and take some samples, and then she died.
Yeah, that didn't go so well.
Yeah, but we made it back, all of us except Annis, and that's where we ended.
We saw that big thing in the in the swamp that we avoided.
Yeah, we saw a big black scaly frightening beast.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't fight it.
Yeah,
Nope.
Thankfully we were able to avoid it with
Yes.
some skillful maneuvering.
And we may or may not have almost gotten eaten by zombies, but ran away from them.
Yeah.
Something. God knows what it was. But I think the danger of the swamp is well established by this point. That is my
Indeed.
goal. So let's talk about what's happening in the world between last session and this session. Word has arrived from the south that Lady Starlight, one of the southeastern nobles in Highport, has been thrown in the dungeons for proclaiming the king's refusal to recall the Blackguard a traitorous action. Her family has been left intact, as have been her lands and titles, but she has been imprisoned for calling the king a traitor and threatening the kingdom with rebellion with her words. So things in the east are starting to deteriorate over this guard action that's been sent to the west. They've been there for many months now and have suffered massive casualties, as you guys have seen with some of the returning soldiers. The Eastern Lords are getting uncomfortable and unhappy with their soldiers dying and their materiel missing. That's word from afar. And to start off our session, why don't we kill the nice peaceful town music? This is definitely no longer appropriate. To start off our session, Luther and Tyler, everyone in the house is woken up by Max coming and knocking on all the doors and saying, "I've got it! I've got it!"
Okay, I
in the
guess
middle of the night.
Luther will jump out of bed and burst outside of his room.
There's Max standing in the middle of the hallway, holding a stack of papers and a candle, going, the castle walls, they're finally finished! I've been up all night, but I got them done!
What?
Plans?
You built the walls all by yourself?
I didn't build the walls, but I've got the plans for the walls. I figured it all out. We can afford to do it.
Oh.
Oh. How?
He hurriedly moves you into a room with a large table. You can see his hands are shaking. You know he hasn't been sleeping very much. He's been really throwing himself into this castle work for a while now, or the wall work for a while now. And he begins to outline the plans for you, talking about how there's like these 58 or 580 feet of wall that need to be rebuilt, and there's this much stone, and after a careful examination of all the stone that can be recovered and all the stone that's existing, about 80% of it can be used, which means we only actually need 20% of new stone, and the rest of it can be recycled into this and that, and it's going to take like 704 man weeks in order to do this, and cost, well, if we try and just stretch it out over a year to so we have to train as few number of people as possible, we could probably do it for like 12,000 gold, but if we want to like hurry the process, it's going to take a lot more people because of the inefficiency, and we can build these scaffoldings, and there's plenty of wood in the forest, but we're going to have to be careful not to go too far into the woods, otherwise we're going to attract the elves, and if we double our workforce, we can probably do it in like, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the time. If we quadruple our workforce, we could probably do it in half a year, but the costs are going to go up exponentially, so here's the numbers that we can, and he like lays out all this information while you guys are barely awake.
Didn't you just say that we can afford it?
Yes. Considering how much money the town brings in, these are rough estimates, of course, because I don't have access to the Countess's true figures, but gathering from these other things, if she actually has this much money on hand, and if she's willing to put in all of her expendable money, and if everyone actually pays the 10%, including us, if we actually pay our 10%, then by 6 months in, we should have raised enough money to pay all the workers and build the stone and get the stone from what's that place to the south? Nixon, right, where we can get the stone from Nixon, and it'll work with wagons, and the train between us and Nixon is fairly flat, so we don't even have to build any roads or do anything special. We could just get it on wagons, and it'll take a little while, but that's okay because we've got all this extra stone here already, so we can start construction now, and we won't need the extra stone from Nixon until most of the way through the project anyway, because as I said before, we already have 80% of the stone. So it shouldn't be that hard of a thing to get all the work done, and we can start the work tomorrow if we can get blessings from the Countess and get all the workers trained. And we've already got the stonemason who's going to need to start training people to make the mortar and to properly lay stones because our current workers aren't that good at this sort of thing, but it'll work.
So with the 10% tax, we can afford it.
Yes.
If the Countess would. Good. How much do you know about stone?
I'm not a geologist.
We brought back stone from the mountains to the north.
You did? Let me see it.
We took some samples.
Okay.
I'll hand one over.
He takes a look at it, turns it over a few times, and goes, okay, this should be fine as well. But this is up from on the other side of the swamp, which is on the other side of the hills as well, and that's a pretty dangerous route. And plus, we'd have to float it through the swamp, and we'd have to find either a waterway or we'd have to build bridges and stuff. And I think that's probably further and more difficult than it would be to get it from Nixon. But this might work in the long run. Wasn't there some plan to drain out the swamp?
Tea, Max, you're talking awful fast there.
Sorry,
I can't keep up.
I'm really excited. I've been working on this for like months now, and it's finally done. The calculations were hard. And there was a lot of surveying to be done. It was very tedious, but I'm really excited that we finally got this. Why is everyone looking at me?
So we have 80% of the stone. So really, we wouldn't need stone from Nixon for a while.
Right, but we should start gathering it now because it's going to be a long, laborious task of actually shipping it up here because we're going to have to move by wagon load, so we're not going to be able to move that much wagon at a time, that much stone at a time. So we should start bringing it now and stockpiling it over here in a nice, safe place. And I've actually laid out plans where we could store the things inside of the wall and which sides of the wall we should start working on first. We should start away from the gate and work towards the gate. That way, all of the openings are centralized.
Very well. Tomorrow we'll bring the plan to the Countess.
Tomorrow? What's wrong with right now?
I look out the window.
It's pitch black.
I point out the window.
Oh,
and say,
right. The sun went down.
Probably sleeping.
Okay.
Did Father wake up with all the commotion?
Yeah, he's slowly making his way down the hallway, groggy.
Okay. Like, can this have happened? Because there's something I want to do, like, immediately.
Sure.
Can this have happened, like, right when we got back into town?
This can be the... Oh, did you want to do something before you went to bed that night?
But yeah, I needed to, like, sprint my horse out to meet the frogman with chainmail to see if I could get there in
time. That's pretty far. I don't know if you could have sprinted your horse there in a day across the swampy ground.
Yeah. But I figure maybe he would have waited a little while. I don't know.
You got back in the evening, didn't you? Or was it the morning? No, you marched all night.
Yeah, we came in at night, I think, or maybe in the morning.
Okay.
Because we were running from ghosts.
Sure. So you could have sprinted your horse out there. Let me just do a quick encounter check and pray that it's no encounter. Ooh, yes, 94. No encounters. Excellent.
Nice.
You sprint your horse out there and he's not there.
Yeah. Well, so I guess it would be like day 6 since we said we'd meet in 5 days.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, I guess I'll just ride back.
Okay.
Or yeah, I don't know how to find this frogman.
Yeah. So Maximilian calms down a little bit after everyone is clearly exhausted, and it goes back to his room. And you guys can rest the rest of the night and wake up the next morning to snow everywhere.
In April.
In April. In an area where it doesn't really ever snow.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But you wake up, it's a chilly day. Everyone's huddled in their heavy fur cloaks. The servants have started fires in all the appropriate rooms. And Wadsworth is blanketed in a thin layer of snow. Well, maybe, I don't know, like 2 inches of snow? Is that a thin layer?
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
Okay, 2 inches of snow. And it is continuing to flutter down gently.
Okay, well, Luther probably got up early because there's a lot to do today and started planting his type E poison plant in the greenhouse that he's been carrying around in a bag.
What do you do with the... What, you had poison... You had a plant, you had snakes, and you had other weird shit in your bag.
I'll also collect the poison from the snakes. What type is that?
Crap, we had figured it out last week. Let me open my poison
I think
shot.
we did figure it out, but you said it was type E, and type E is a plant.
I think it was
they were vipers.
snake.
Yeah.
I think it's type F.
Okay, so now I have 13 doses of type F. Boy. I would never use that much poison. But it's nice to have. And yeah, the plant was type E. So I plant that in the greenhouse, and hopefully I will be able to just get it when I need it, I guess.
Okay. Cool. So that'll grow there and slowly, spread, and you can make other offshoots of it and all that jazz.
Yeah.
The town is a little surprised to see snow. Maybe this town music is a little too hasty. I think we want different town music. Here we go. People here aren't really prepared for snow, and everyone's kind of crunching around in it.
They don't have any road salt built up.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Arthur's super prepared for the snow, so he's gonna go look for a carrot and 2 lumps of coal.
You can find both in town. The carrot you can. In fact, you can probably find all of that here in the house.
All right. Once he's got that gathered, he's gonna go outside with a giant grin and start making a snowman.
Excellent. Give me what sort of snowman making skills does Arthur have? What are your non-weapon proficiencies?
Rope use and hunting.
All right, so you're not a proficient snowman maker.
Maybe he can make a bird friend that knows how to make snowmen.
What's an appropriate snowman skill? Is that a strength check?
Strength, dexterity, maybe. Probably strength, I guess.
Yeah. To use the appropriate amount of strength to not collapse the snowballs, but to still roll them and everything. Give me a strength check to...
Right. Let's go. Build a snowman. There we go.
Oh, your snowman's a little lumpy. It's kind of awkward.
It's unfortunate. Well, he's got eyes and a nose, though, so that's worth it.
Well, he's also the only snowman in all of Wadsworth for now. Can you show me on the map where you build your snowman? Do you build it in the yard? Do you build it in the town? Where?
Okay, let's see here. I'd probably go out here. This is like a big grassy field, huh, by the temple?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd go out there since there's a lot of room to gather snow.
Okay. Excellent. As you walk through the town, people are fairly bewildered by the snow everywhere.
Hmm.
And there are people kind of trying to shovel the roads clear and pack the snow on the sides, but there are a lot of these streets, especially kind of in the northeastern section of town over this area, where there's just nowhere to put the snow that you shovel off the streets. So steep banks are building up with little narrow passageways going through it, and the snow is slowly going to get shoveled or wheelbarrowed out, but it continues to come down. Maximilian doesn't wake up until maybe 2 in the afternoon or so. And when he does, he looks severely depressed. He looks out at the snow and just kind of mumbles to himself, "We can't start construction until the snow's gone. All that hurrying for nothing."
And yeah. I guess Luther's just gonna leave him alone. Maybe. We do have 3 bronze flasks of whiskey that we found in the hydro layer. So Luther's just gonna pat him on the back and set one like on his desk or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna go talk to Father. Oh no, this is gonna be a bad conversation with Father, but it's fine.
All right, what do you have to say to him?
So I get there and I say, "Father," and then I stutter for a second and think, and
What is it, son? He smells like booze already.
I found a horn in the hydro layer that I think is...
Hydras don't have horns, son. They don't have horns.
I think it was the Lorwyn's horn of blasting.
Blasted horn?
You know, the one that you told me about before. It makes a big...
Oh, the magical horn of sounding that destroys everything in front of it and
I was
blows
going
people
to
up.
ask you if this was what it looked like, but I forgot that... Well...
That I can't see? Has everyone forgotten? No one talks about it anymore. Am I a shame to you? Do I bring shame on our family by not being able to see?
Father, look, do you remember, were you with the late Kel Lorwyn when she used the horn?
No. I was leading... I was leading our contingent from Wadsworth. She wasn't there. She was elsewhere.
Did you ever hear tell of her using the horn?
Of course. It's one of the greatest legends of our age.
How did she use it?
Well, I suppose she blew the horn.
She didn't have to say any words.
Oh, no. Are there any words on the horn?
There's some inscriptions, but I can't really tell what they say.
Why not? Are you stupid?
No, they're not written in this language. Or they don't seem to be. Maybe it's... I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it to Joseph and see if he knows anything.
Don't be... Totally ridiculous. Your father plops back down into the chair and reaches out kind of blindly for his mug of ale, finds it, and continues his downward spiral into alcoholism.
Well, good thing people think he's dead. Well, Luther's gonna go into the armory, and since he gave away his arming sword and his crossbow, he's going to get... Did Ginger have a crossbow? No, Ty's crossbow. So he's going to get Ty's crossbow and Ty's lucky arming sword.
Okay. If you're going to put them on your character sheet, can you mark them off of the dock? Excellent. All right, so while you're in there doing those things, Arthur, Max comes looking for you, or Max finds you and goes, Arthur, have you seen Luther? I've got another startling discovery for him.
I think he was back at the house. I
That
could go
whiskey
look for him.
you gave me. It's not
Yeah.
whiskey. At least
no?
it's not all whiskey. Look, and he produces the 3 flasks before you and hands you one. Says that's whiskey. Take a sip. But these other ones, and he uncorks them and kind of wafts them under your nose. Smell that? That's not whiskey.
Huh. Do you know what it is?
He looks around the completely empty house. I think they're potions. Look, if you look inside and with just the right light, you can see it's bubbling.
What?
It's
and
bubbling.
I grab it and try to look inside.
It's a metal container, so you can't really get a good look, but you can kind of look down the top, and sure enough, there is some carbonation in there. God knows that there's no way something that's been left in a cave for 20 or 30 years could still be carbonated.
Maybe it's just the carbonation that's magical. Never goes flat.
This is the best use of magic ever. Yeah, Arthur says, "Huh, that's strange. That was left there a long time ago, I think."
You seem thoroughly unexcited about this. Do you not have emotions?
I don't know what to do with them.
Are you
I
a
mean,
golem?
Do you not have emotion?
Potions, my man, potions!
Yeah, but what potion? What does it do? Does it heal you? Is that
I
what it is?
don't know, but
Well, exactly. There you go. You're getting excited about nothing. All right, let's. Who would know about this? Anybody?
I suppose perhaps the family of the... This was left by the late Lorwyn, right? Or this was in the same place where you found the horn? Was this in the same pile as the horn, or in a... Where was this? Do you think this is the remnants of what's her name, or is this from someone else?
I think it was from someone else, but it wasn't a backpack. It was in near the same place, so it could have been the same person.
Well, if it's from the same person, perhaps her family knows. But if it's from someone else, then no one would know. But the family might claim it. Perhaps this secret is better left undiscussed.
All right. Well, we should go find Luther and see what he wants to do with them.
Yes, of course. And the two of you can find Luther and relay this conversation to him.
Upon hearing it, Luther gets really excited and...
Thank you! I told Arthur, and he was just stone-faced.
He grabs the potions out of whoever's holding them's hands, and he takes a little sip of both, not at the same time. But he takes a sip of one and takes a sip of another, like just a little tiny sip.
Luther, what are you doing?
Mixing potions in his belly. That's what he's doing.
Oh no, I'll explode. Oh no.
Okay. So you don't die.
That's good.
Yeah, that's real good. But you do... Maybe you don't notice it, but I think Arthur sees you kind of just like grow a little bit taller. You just kind of like, whoop, like 0.5% of your normal size.
Huh. Well, that's a neat trick.
But
You didn't see that? Luther, you're taller now.
what?
Yeah.
I put my hand on my head as if that can tell me how tall I am. And I spin around. Really?
Yeah, a couple inches, maybe.
Do you think I'll stay taller?
Well, how should I know?
I I don't know. Okay. I'll try the other one.
I don't think there are any noticeable effects from the other one. You take a sip of it and it just goes down like water. Maybe a like sour water, but yeah, like lemonade or something without any sugar in it.
Did this one do anything?
No, I don't see anything. Has your hair always been that color? Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Well, no, it hasn't always been this color. Wait. You think I was born with gray hair? Never mind. I'll pull out the horn of blasting that I showed Father and show it to Max.
Max starts looking over the whole thing. He sees the same inscriptions that you do and kind of cocks his head to the side and goes, "These are..." Like, turns the horn upside down, right side up, looks down it, mutters to himself about something, and carries the horn off into his workshop without a further word.
Well, I guess he knows what he's doing.
I hope so.
How about that? One useful potion, one that I guess it's gone bad or something.
It's a good thing Max didn't just drink it thinking it was whiskey.
Well, one of them was.
Well, I suppose I don't know what I'm supposed to do with these, really. I guess, tell me if I get shorter again.
Okay. Well, maybe I should stick around for a little bit. Well, keep an eye on you.
Actually, do I... is there like a measuring tape?
You can stand against a wall and have someone, put a notch on you.
Make a little mark? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'll stand up against the wall of the armory and have... make a mark. How tall I am.
Yeah. I'll pull out the dagger and just cut a little mark there.
Okay. It takes a little while, but eventually he does kind of drop back down.
There you are. You're a bit shorter now. I think back to normal.
Well, I suppose if I ever want to look really tall, maybe I can pretend I'm one of the giants. No, probably not. Well, I'm like, I'll peer down. Actually, I have like vials in the greenhouse for poisons and stuff like that. So I'll pour the one that I don't know what it is into a vial.
Okay.
What does it look like?
The one that you don't know is fairly purplish. The sour one? Yeah. It's purplish and murky. Kind of like cloudy almost.
Does I assume appraisal doesn't work on things when I don't know what it is.
Right.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to things like magic potions, there's not a standard market value. It would be whatever you can get for it.
Does it look like a poison? Probably doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, poisons
you
don't
drink some?
look like something.
I mean, they don't.
I mean, what does a poison look like as a fluid? It's...
I have toxicology, so I figure I know.
Yeah, but like tea could be poisonous if it's made from
That's true.
this thing or that thing. It's...
Well, pour it back into the bronze flask, I guess, and if I'm ever about to die, I'll drink it and just see what happens.
Am I still there with you?
I think so.
Cool.
Well, that seems like a good idea. Maybe if we want to go talk to the giants, the other one could come in handy. I doubt it'd make us as big as them, but you never know. A little bit seemed to do a little bit for you, so maybe all of it would do a lot.
Maybe. So it's what, the 10th of April now, I guess.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the caravan's coming in 6 days. Well, I suppose we can't bring the plan to the Countess yet. Arthur, what do you think about this horn? Do you think we should give it to her? Actually, I guess Max has it, so should wait on what he says.
Yeah, I think so. I think that belongs to her family, so we should give it back to them. I mean, I know they lost it and all, but still.
We have that rusted plate mail too that we think was probably from her family. Luther wants to take a better look at it and just see if there's anything noticeable about it besides the fact that it's rusted armor.
Yeah, in the good light and time that you have in this house, you can definitely see the remains of etchings and carvings into it. The plate is pretty rusted out, so you can't make out great detail. At least not just with a visual inspection. But there was clearly some sort of markings on the breast of the plate.
Well, it looks like it should be identifiable if it is from the Lorwyn family. Though if we bring her the plate mail, we'll probably have to give her the horn. So, Luther's gonna go look in on Max and see what he's doing with the horn. Hope he doesn't blow the house down or anything.
Max is together with Joseph, and they're discussing the horn. Joseph has got a book out, and they're comparing it to a picture in the horn of a woman holding a horn in kind of a epic fighting pose, blowing on it with kind of concussive force out of it. And they're comparing the details, and you can hear Joseph saying, well, it's not exactly like the picture, but it's close enough. You see the bands on the ends. Yes, the bands on the end. And this curly thing here is similar to this, but all of this other stuff is not quite right. Now, do you think it's a different horn? No. It's probably just a poor artist's interpretation. Yeah, of course the artist isn't going to get exactly right, but this might be close enough. They look up to see the two of you entering, and Joseph says, there are some words inscribed along the inside edge, but their letters are strangely shaped.
Yes, I'm okay with languages, so I tried figuring out what it means or identifying it, but I couldn't really make heads or tails of it.
I feel like I've seen these letters before, though, or something similar to them.
Well, if it's the Lorwyn family horn, maybe it has some significance to them. Does it say in that book if there were words used to use the horn? Because I blew the horn and it didn't really do anything. It could be because of the crack, but it could also be... Speaking of the crack, do you think you can repair something like this if it's magic?
Well, the crack doesn't look like it runs all the way through. On the inside, you can feel that it's not there, so it seems superficial? Or maybe not superficial, but it's certainly not going all the way through.
Well, if the inside's completely intact, it shouldn't have an effect on the sound, I don't think.
That sounds close enough. Can I get you to make me an intelligence check, Luther?
Yeah. Whew.
Close. You recognize the writing a little bit from the book that you picked up from the person in the tower. The writing is similar. It's not the same.
Tower?
Yeah, that weird book that had all the intonations and gestures.
Okay, well, I'll go get that. I'll run to my room and get that out of my chest and bring it back into where they're sitting.
Yeah.
And open it up and show them.
With some with some careful study and observation, it appears that the writing on the horn is, the writing on the inside of the horn lip is like backwards. It's at least the characters in the book, but flipped backwards.
How strange.
You think this is Elven? Is that what's in the book?
Could be. I was able to I've been studying this book for a while, so I was able to kind of understand some of the meaning of it, but I can't tell what it is really. The centaurs, I was thinking they might know Elven. So maybe we could take it to them and ask them if it's Elven, and maybe if they can read it.
Maybe bring them some ale. Trade them for
Yeah,
knowledge of the horn.
we'd have to leave the horses somewhere so they wouldn't get offended. But I've been wanting to go see them for a while now, because maybe I could learn Elven myself. Joseph, do you have any idea of what it looks like?
Elven it might be. A strange flowing script. Although if this is Elven, and your book is as well, we should probably keep quiet about that. You know how people can be.
Yes,
I think merely possessing something in Elven writing is enough to damn you in the eyes of many people these days. And rightfully so. Bastard elves and their man-eating carp and their werewolf summoning rituals.
Well, it seems we have a job to do. And with that, I guess Luther will pick up the book and the horn. And I guess I'll go out to the brew house before putting my armor on and all that stuff. So I'll head over there, knock on the door, or maybe just go in.
Sure.
And yeah.
There's your father-in-law and his family. They're all busily loading up casks onto carts. He's got a beaming smile. Lord Thorn, what a pleasure to see you. It's a good day for an ale salesman. All this cold is making people quite thirsty and craving a little extra blanket.
I bet it is. That's what I was here about, actually. I've need of some ale myself.
Of course. You know you don't have to come down yourself. Just send a servant.
Yes, well, I like to visit every now and then as well.
Patronage is much appreciated.
Do we still have a cart?
No, you lost the cart.
Yeah, we might have got another one though, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, I think so the size of the cart we had last time, how many barrels of ale could we fit onto it?
Did we say 3? Let me see the weight of a cart. Can someone look up the weight of a barrel of water or a barrel of ale? Assume they're about the same. Transportation. Cart. Open cart can carry 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
How big is a barrel?
For a U.S. half barrel keg, full keg weight, 160 pounds. But that's his half barrel, so I don't know if.
Water weighs about what, like 7 pounds per gallon, something like that.
And in each barrel, apparently there's 130 pounds of beer, which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the weight of a water barrel depends on the barrel. For example, the 55-gallon barrel weighs around 470 pounds. So each barrel of ale is about 470 pounds.
Okay.
Let's call it 450 because beer is a little bit lighter than water, right? Because alcohol is a little lighter than water.
Yes, that's 55 gallons of beer.
Yeah. Which I think is the amount available in the player's handbook as well. Household provisionings. No, that's a ton of cider.
Ton of
250
cider.
gallons. That's right. Ale per gallon. Okay. I think I have our own lists for these things. No, I don't have our lists. Okay. Right. So yeah, a barrel of ale will weigh 450 pounds, so you can fit 2 on the cart without any problems.
Okay. Well, that is fine, I suppose. So I'll tell him. I think 2 barrels of your finest ale will be sufficient. I'll have to go buy a cart because, well, it's a long story, but I'll bring a cart with a couple horses and load it up in a few minutes.
Of course.
Okay. And how much? Do I know how much it is?
The price is. Let's see, per gallon is 2 silver. This is 55 gallons.
Yeah.
And then you're probably going to get a slight discount for buying in this quantity. So let's say 8.5 gold. Let's round it to 9 gold. 8.8.
Okay.
So round to 9.
Well, I will leave 10 gold
Okay.
and run off to buy a cart, I guess.
Okay. You can go ahead and buy a cart. We don't have to roleplay it if you don't want.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. So I get the cart, I run back to the house, and I guess I hitch up. Can one horse pull it?
I think so. What was their pull weight? It was like 10 times their lift weight.
Yeah, a single riding horse can pull 1,000 pounds without any problems.
Okay. So I'll hitch up Vinny to the cart, and it says there's room for drivers in the cart, so I'll get in the driver's seat and drive it back to the brew house.
Okay. Yeah, because you're getting a cart, not a wagon. Carts are 20 gold, so easy peasy.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got your ale, you've got your horse, you've got your squire, you've got a horn, got 2 potions. One is some sort of taller potion, and the other is unknown. You've got plans to build a wall. You've figured out the supplies. You've got the people for that. There's a caravan shipment coming in a week that's supposed to be bringing you 2 mercenaries.
Yeah, they're supposed to be good. Hopefully.
It kind of looks like everything is falling in place. Maybe this isn't such an age of strife after all.
I just found some wood and knocked on it.
The cart gets ambushed.
Yeah, Arthur will actually say to Luther, shouldn't we talk to the Countess first about the wall, at least, before we leave?
We could. I figured we wouldn't bring her the plans until we could start work, but I suppose...
You just let her know that you can't build the wall until the snow is gone.
You have a point. Yes, let's go do that. So we divert from the gate out of town, go back to the house, run in and tell Max that we're going to go see the Countess.
He begs you to wait for him while he goes and puts on his very finest clothes, combs his hair back immaculately, takes care to like pick some things out of his teeth using a hand mirror and a little splinter of wood. Smooths out all of his everything, gets his papers all aligned, kisses his wife goodbye, and heads with you guys to go see the Countess.
Yeah, I guess Luther's gotten all gussied up too. He's got his gray fur cloak, his nice tabard. I guess I have my armor on too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I probably wear. Maybe that's weird. No, I'll wear the mithril dagger like strapped to my chest, and have it like in the sheath on my chest.
Okay.
Arthur's looking reasonably fancy in his fur cloak and the nice embroidered tabard that we got.
Yeah, so we're kind of matching. Well, what color is your fur cloak, though? That's the real question.
Mine's brown, not gray.
So we're not matching, but we're kind of matching.
Yeah. You guys set out over the frozen, snowy ground on the way to Thornwatch Keep. It is not a great distance to travel. It's like 9 miles, 10 miles to get there. Are you bringing the cart, or are you guys just heading on? What's the? How are you guys getting there?
We'll probably get there faster if we bring the cart.
Mm-hmm. And you won't have to trudge through snow.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll bring the cart.
Okay. It's a little bit more slow going through the snow because the road is kind of lost. You can sort of see where it is, and you've traveled it enough times to have a good idea of where it goes.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit slower with the horse pushing through the snow and everything. And after, let's see, it should normally take you maybe 2 hours to get there. This time it's going to take you maybe 4 hours to get there. Everything's just a little bit slower in the snow, and you get a little bit lost, or your cart kind of goes off the path, and you guys have to get out and shift it back into the correct place. But after 4 hours of travel, you make it to Thornwatch Keep. But I also think we're at break time, so why don't we take a break, and we will deal with Thornwatch Keep on the other side. So,
All right.
See you guys in a few minutes, everyone. Bye-bye.